This is the story behind the real no-end house. It is said that every gory urban legend has its basis in fact, and the no-end house is no exception. It was originally known as the Nolan house, because that family is the last known owner of record. It is located in the suburbs of Columbus, Georgia. And the Nolan family claims they have no knowledge of how it later earned its reputation for evil. Dieter Hister was addicted to playing video games on his Xbox. But this investigation is of his friend, Michael Ng. They were friends in high school, even after Dieter dropped out, 2 days before graduation day. Dieter would send to Mike a Christmas card every year. However, on the day after Christmas in 2015, Michael received from him only a one-page letter. "Dear Mike," it said, "are you still looking for a job?" Dieter wrote him about the old Nolan house, which had been abandoned for more than a year. "After you go in the front door," the Xbox addict wrote, "if you can get through 3 rooms and leave through the back door, you get $300. It sounded too fantastic for Michael to believe, but he did happen to be looking for work. That's why he stood at the front of the Nolan house, feeling like a complete idiot. All the windows were dark. Many of the glass panes were busted. The churning in the pit of his stomach dissipated entirely when he opened the door and entered the front room. He had a good laugh. The room was festooned with tawdry Halloween decorations from the dollar store. Black cardboard cutout cats, accordion pop-out orange pumpkins, and a plastic hollow witch's cauldron. Nobody was home, but there was a handwritten sign on the next door. It said, "Second room this way. Reach the back door, and you win." He twisted the knob and stepped through, somehow finding himself outside the house, standing again at the front door. Although this was puzzling, he had another concern. How was he supposed to earn the money? There was supposed to be 3 rooms. He tried to get back in, but the front door was now locked. Actually, he felt relieved. It all appeared to be an elaborate joke. A hot shower would be certain to alleviate his stress at home. But when Michael unlocked his apartment, he found it had been vandalized. Not all of it, as it turned out, just his PlayStation. His gaming console was in bits and plastic pieces all over the floor, as if someone had taken a hammer to it. It would cost him more than $300 to replace it. That's when Michael noticed a door inside his home, which he had never seen before, and it bore the numeral 2. He was in his apartment, but he was still inside the Nolan house. Then his phone rang. He heard Dieter say, "Do not go through the door." Mike answered, "Did you break my PlayStation?" "They made me do it," responded his former friend. "I found a note. It said they would let me go." Michael was angry. He hung up the phone. He threw open the new door and walked in. Only then did he realize he was back inside the room at the Nolan house. The Halloween decorations were gone, Instead, there was a small table in the middle of the floor. Sitting on the table was a large, pointed kitchen knife and a note. The note read, "Cut the brakes, and you will see the door that leads to room number 3. Sure enough, once he was outside again, he saw Dieter Hister's beat-up car parked on the street. No Dieter, just the Volkswagen. Michael felt the greatest pleasure in crawling under the German automobile and using the kitchen knife like a saw to cut through the brake line. It felt so good that he cut through it in more than one place. In fact, he lost count. And at some point, darkness closed in, and he lost consciousness. When he came to, again inside the Nolan house, he picked himself up from the floor. The table now supported only an envelope, which held 3 crisp $100 bills. Dieter's beater was gone from the street. Michael never heard again from his ex-friend. Never heard anything about him in the news either. In fact, he never thought about good old Dieter anymore. Until one day after work, he arrived home to his apartment to find that a small number 3 had been etched into the wood of his front door, as if by the point of a kitchen knife.